Hello my precious little dragons, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Callista and here I do mostly bookish and beauty content. If you're wondering about my slightly wild makeup look, I will direct you to this book look up here, or is it over here? I literally never know what side of the screen to point to, even though it's in the same spot every time, but whatever. But I did a book look on Dragon Slippers by Jessica Day George, so if you're interested in a dragony fantasy middle grade story and want to learn more about that, go ahead and check that out. But today I am doing half a year of empties. Most people do these quarterly and I can see why, but I just didn't feel like I had quite enough at the quarter, and then all of a sudden I had so much stuff to go through. So we're just gonna have some fun and go through a year's worth of empties. It is mostly skincare and candles, but I do have a couple beauty things in here. So let's get started. First thing is I went through a giant conditioner. It is the Random Pure Originals Argan Oil Luxurious Conditioner. I got this because it was cheap, came in a giant bottle, and seemed like it mostly fit what I wanted. It was fairly conditioning. It wasn't like super special, like it didn't feel like it did wonders for my hair, but it also did leave it feeling conditioned, so it did what it was advertised to do. I would definitely consider purchasing it again. I am going to be doing sort of a hair experiment coming up here, so if none of those experiments work out, I may definitely come back to this in the future. And I also know at least one of my friends uses the exact same conditioner. She has like super curly hair and I know it works for her. So this is probiotic gummies. I just got them from Target. I mean, I think they worked okay. I didn't really notice a huge difference, but I know like probiotics like make a big difference for my mom, so I was like, maybe I'll try it. I don't know. They seemed fine, but as far as gummies go, like vitamin gummies, these are actually pretty good. I'm definitely one of those people that like needs vitamins to be gummies. I hate pills. I hate swallowing pills. Yeah, this is just a hand soap. It smells like lavender. This is like one of the strongest smelling soaps though that I've ever used, because it's literally just the like Smartly, which I'm pretty sure is, it's just the Target brand. It's the Target brand lavender soap, but it's like the strongest lavender smelling soap I've ever used, and I'm just like, what the heck fragrance did they put in this to make it so strong? But if you like your hands to smell like lavender, this is a good one. Okay, I went through a full Overtone Ginger Daily Conditioner. I have been using Overtone for a few months now and I do like it. I think it lasts a decent amount of time. I need to retone it here pretty soon, but it does the job. If you don't want any staining at all, you probably need to use gloves even with just the conditioner, but I don't really care if my hands look like I've been eating Cheetos all day, so I'm just fine using it. But it also leaves your hair feeling luxurious and soft and silky, so you know, there's that as well. Okay, so next we have our first candle. So unfortunately, this is my Forever Mood Can't Be Duped, and it's just the black candle. So I subscribed to the quarterly box, and so basically you get 2 of the like full-size limited edition Forever Mood candles, which if you don't know, Forever Mood is Jackie Aina's candle line, and they are some of the like most fragrant, best throw candles I've ever used, which is awesome because they are on the expensive side for candles. So you definitely get your money's worth out of them as far as I'm concerned, and especially when I was still in the middle of house training Aria, I really appreciated having a candle with a good throw and a strong scent. This one, I don't know what the scent actually is. It's got a very warm, comforting, homey smell to it. I'm sure I could look up the actual notes. I might just put it on the screen or something. So you may be wondering, why is this candle broken? Well, this particular candle, the first-ish time I burned it, the wick went over like to the side. So it was like right here, like towards the side, and I couldn't really move it back. Like it had just kind of drooped over. And so I was able to keep lighting it, so I did. And then it got down to, I mean, close-ish to the bottom. Oh, you can still see like where the wick is. So it got pretty close to the bottom, so I did get most of the use of the candle out of it. There was obviously still a few burns left. It didn't get down to like the bottom. I was in the other room and all of a sudden I heard this crash and I'm like, what? And so I run in and I see that my candle has literally exploded. It's just too much for the poor glass, and the wick being close to the glass, I guess, just exploded the candle. So apparently according to the customer service, I just should have trimmed the wick more or something. I don't know. I've never had that problem with any of the other candles, but like with the wick dripping and stuff. The scent at least was really good. Okay, next I have the Function of Beauty curly hair conditioner. This is the Target line. So this one has shea butter, and then I put in 3 of the custom things, and I can't remember off the top of my head what they were. They're in the other room, but stay tuned for when I do, like I said, experiment video, because I will go more in depth. For my, like, what I found weird, because this should have been extremely conditioning, and I felt like it left my hair feeling a little on the drier side. Like, it just didn't feel like it did anything. And if anything, it left my hair feeling less conditioned. So I was like, for a conditioner that's on the slightly more expensive side, that I should be able to tailor to my needs. And by the way, I would have gone for the wavy hair, but when I was getting the stuff initially, they were all out of the wavy hair conditioner. They only had the wavy hair shampoo, so I erred on the side of curly as opposed to straight. But yeah, it just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Specifically this, I had better experience with the shampoo, but I did use all of it up because I use what I buy. I spent my money. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. I went through a whole shave cream, which actually I love the shave cream. I don't know why, but it's a lotionized, it's the Skintimate Skin Therapy Moisturizing Sensitive Skin Shave Cream. I picked it up randomly. I would definitely use this again, except I definitely forgot to write it down when I went to the store to get more, so I got a different brand. But the next time I get shave lotion, I'm gonna aim for getting this one because I really liked how soft it made my legs feel after I shaved. So I was just like, yes, I like this. This is actually my favorite shave lotion that I've ever used. So there we go. I need to stop like smacking my lips together. Like it's gonna ruin my stained glass effect. This is my next Forever Mood candle that I went through, and I got the entire fall collection. That was like my first foray into Forever Mood. And this one is We Not Lincoln. Actually, I'm just gonna pull up the scent notes because I don't want to have to put in the work to edit all of the notes in, if I'm being completely honest. I do like the scent of this one. It's not my favorite in the fall collection, but I do still like it a lot. Again, the scent throw is really good. I didn't, obviously, because my candle is whole, have the issue with the wick sliding over, so my candle did not explode. Okay, so the notes for this one. So the top note is pumpkin, the heart is cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, the base is whipped cream and tonka, which, I mean, obviously this is a little bit old, so now it smells more like a used candle. But I still smell quite a bit of the fall-y scents, which the sort of fall spiced scents are definitely my favorite out of like just candle scents in general. So when in doubt, I'm going to like a spicy fall scented candle. Next is the Hey Big Head. This is my absolute favorite out of the fall line, and this one still smells lovely. And I used this up in like January or February, so I mean, like, still good. The notes for this one, basically it smells like a coffee shop. And I distinctly remember, like, I came home from winter break and my apartment, like, this has been sitting here, like sitting just open on the coffee table for a month. And I walked in and my apartment still smelled like a coffee shop. It's a good freaking candle. Like it's not even, it hasn't even been lit in a month and my apartment still smells like a coffee shop. So, I mean, props to you, Jackie Ina. This one did good. It has the best scent throw so far. Like, if I was going to repurchase any Forever Mood candle again, I would repurchase this one. Like, this is the best one. So the top note is roasted coffee, the heart is sweet toffee and hazelnut, and the bottom note is vanilla. That's what I got for you. It's amazing. I would use again. Okay, so next, I like to repurchase or repurposed jars. So this one looks like it has something in it, but it's not what was originally in it. I used up a sample, like a trial size of the Pharmacy Daily Greens Oil-Free Gel Moisturizer. And I just wasn't like the hugest fan of the scent on this one. Like it was okay, but like it just wasn't my favorite, so I used up all of it. It did feel my skin, leaving lightweight, moisturized, all of that. And I ended up getting full size in my boxy charm, so I just gave it to my mom because she didn't mind the scent as much. Like it was good to use. It was a lightweight moisturizer, so it did what it said it did. Just wasn't the biggest fan of the scent, so there was that. And now it holds a lip balm that the casing broke, so I just needed a jar to put the lip balm in, so that is what this does now. Okay, next, I did not use all of this up, but it went bad. So this is the Equate Sheer Lotion Sunscreen in SPF 100. And this worked fine as a body sunscreen until it didn't. So I actually, like, I went on a date and we were like outside. Being the pale person that I am, needed to put sunscreen on, so I had brought this with me because I'm like, I knew I was going to be outside. So, I have like a black shirt on and like shorts and stuff. So I put the sunscreen on, and then I realized, like, as I've like I rubbed it in and everything, and I realized it started like balling up. So actually, I wonder if I can still just like show you. Like, I'll just put a little bit on my arm because it's still, so you can sort of maybe see that it has just completely like kind of like got this curdly sort of texture to it. It goes on fine, but then as soon as you like touch it, or like, you know, maybe your arm rubs on something, or it like, you know, just like makes any contact with something that isn't the air, it starts to pill. Just trust me, it's pilling. The exposure is not the best or whatever. But it pilled, and so it also like then got on my shirt, so I had a black shirt on, which hindsight's 20/20. If I had known that my sunscreen was going to have gone bad, pill, and then smudge all over my black shirt, maybe I wouldn't have chosen to wear it, but whatever. Next on the list is the, if you were a Spice Girl, you'd be a pumpkin candle, which I got this from the Boxy Charm add-ons. It's from a brand called Candier. This one smells pretty good. I definitely wouldn't have paid full price for it because I don't remember. Okay, downside to looking up this candle is how long the name is. Okay, so the top notes are supposed to be cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg. The middle is pumpkin and clove, and the base is vanilla and pie crust. So it's supposed to be similar to We Not Lincoln from the Forever Moods. But like, the scent isn't nearly as strong, and I feel like it has more of an artificial candle-y smell to it. Like, instead of smelling like the actual things, it smells like a candle that's trying to smell like those things. And so, like, I think the retail price is like $29. So if I want a candle that smells candle-y, like it has sort of an artificial-ish, like an artificial nature to its scents, I'm going to pay like 10 bucks at Walmart as opposed to 29 bucks on an 8-ounce candle. Sorry, 9-ounce candle. It just not my favorite. Wouldn't repurchase it, but I used it up because, like I said, when I was house training Aria, I was going through candles like crazy. So there's that. Next, I used up a whole biofreeze. I have been using this for literal years, ever since I was on swim team, because my coach was like, hey, use this on your shoulder because swimming messed up my shoulder. So occasionally my shoulder still flares up, and or if I have any other muscle aches, like from working out or whatever, I just slather myself in biofreeze. So I've gone through multiples of these before, so I just went through another one. Cool. Next, this is the Tatcha Rice Wash Soft Cream Cleanser. Like, one of the holiday sets was like this travel version, which is 1.7 fluid ounces of this plus like a trial size of like the Dewy Skin Cream. So I liked the Dewy Skin Cream. It felt nice and nourishing. The scent was a little strong, and I do try to stay away from stronger fragrances in my skincare just because I've been on skincare YouTube too long to avoid them at this point. And then the rice wash, though, I really loved, and I'm like, dang it, why do I like expensive skincare? Because not only does it smell good, and cleansers, you know, they're on their face and then they're off, so I don't mind the fragrance as much, and it just adds to like the experience and making it feel more like a self-care moment. But it was also very gently exfoliating, and I just felt like it really left my skin not only feeling hydrated, but it left it feeling fresh. My skin wasn't too tight, it just felt plump and gorgeous, and I was like, oh yes, I love this. So I did actually buy a full size that I kind of cycle through, so just so I don't have to rebuy a more expensive cleanser all the time. I do have a couple like lower cost cleansers as well, like especially just depending on what my skin needs, but I do use this about like once a week for that gentle exfoliation, and then also just to kind of balance my skin out a little bit. So next we're going to go into, I emptied out a shampoo. So this is the Numa Naturally Addictive Shampoo. So it's just a classic cleanser. It does smell really good. I got this at my hairdresser's. So it has kind of like a minty eucalyptus sort of smell. Yeah, sage, nettle, peppermint, orange, sunflower, rosemary, lavender, coltsfoot, so not eucalyptus at all, but it's got a lot of herbs, so it's got this kind of like refreshing scent to it. I did really like it. Again, it was a little bit more on the expensive side, so I might consider repurchasing it in the future, but we'll see. But it did feel like it just did a lot for my hair. I liked the way it lathered. So again, waiting to see until after my hair experiment, so stay tuned for that video. Okay, I went through a John Frieda Frizz Ease Curl Reviver mousse. I actually like this mousse a lot. It has a nice hold to it. I switched out for another mousse that I don't like nearly as much, so I will either be going back to this or something similar to it. But I liked the way it felt on my hair, and it didn't leave it feeling too crunchy, and you can always scrunch out the crunch or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Next, I used up a Grande Brow Enhancing Serum. I didn't really notice any difference with this. Like, the lash enhancer seems like it works really well, but then the brow enhancer felt like it did nothing, so yeah, I don't know. But wouldn't repurchase it, but it came in a set, so speaking of which, also in the same set was the Grande Lash Enhancing Serum. So the set I got was like a holiday set, and it came with the two travel sizes of the brow and the lash enhancing, and then a full size of the lash enhancing. So I'm still working on the full size of the lash enhancing serum, which I have felt since I started using lash enhancing serums that it actually has really helped lengthen my lashes, because I used to feel like I had very short stubby lashes, and now they're still very straight, but they are long. So if I can curl them, I really like the way my lashes look now. So I will probably continue to use a lash enhancer. I used up a trial size of the Hey Honey Relax Propolis and Honey Soothing Moisturizer. I don't know if this was a nice little moisturizer. I felt it's supposed to calm redness and upset skin, and I felt like it really did that. So yeah, I wasn't mad at it. I have no idea how much the full size cost. Like, I think this came in an Ipsy. So like I didn't like buy it or anything. But it felt really nice. I remember this feeling very lightweight on my skin. So again, I used it up, wasn't mad at it. I would say since I moved and my skin got a lot drier, like I've been leaning toward my heavier moisturizers, so this probably would work better for me if I were to buy the full size. It would work better if I was still living in the lower 48, or if it was like more humid summer conditions where my combination skin is actually closer to true combination and more on the end, like the oily side was actually acting up. Next, the Milani Make It Last Sunscreen SPF 30. So, you know, I am very strict with myself about my sun care, and I was like, hey, there's a setting spray that's also a sunscreen. What's not to love? So I got this, and as you can probably see, the lid and everything is gone. That's because the sprayer on this literally didn't work. Like, I never got more than a spray out of it. And like I tried to like jiggle it, I tried to like maneuver it, like unclog it or whatever, but I think it was just literally a faulty mechanism. So I was like, fine, like I'll put it in a different sprayer. So I got like a little sprayer and everything, and like the stopper was really annoying to take out. So I finally got that and like spilled a little in the process trying to get the stopper out. Cause I was like bound and determined, like I'm going to use this up. I bought it, I'm going to use it. So I get the sunscreen out, I pour it into the bottle, like, and I used a funnel and everything. And then I turned around, I think, sorry, I did something, and I turned around and I knocked the whole thing over completely. Alrighty, next up. So this is, actually, it looks like there's a little bit left. Huh, who would have thunk? I guess it's settled. So this is the Ciate London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Lip Oil. And so I just put this on before bed each night, and my lips still felt lovely and hydrated in the morning. I literally cannot go to bed at this point without putting some type of lip mask or oil or something on. Yeah, this one was pretty good. Obviously there's still a little bit left. I thought I had used it all up, but whatever. Yeah, this one was pretty good. So it was just a little sample size that came in my Ipsy bag. Next we have a declutter. So I'm finally decluttering Watermelon, what's it called? It was the Too Faced like Tutti Free Watermelon Burst. It's basically a combined little eyeshadow palette and face set, and they're magnetized, so they come in these. Like, I really wish I could reuse this packaging for something because it's so freaking cute. I got suckered into it. I did. Like I said, I'm decluttering it, but I went through, like, I literally just spent one whole evening making my own blushes and eyeshadows out of makeup I was decluttering. Because it sounded like fun. So if you see like all of the scratch marks and stuff, that's from me creating my own stuff. Actually, if I was going to keep anything, I would probably keep the face palette side, but I literally just didn't reach for it, and it wasn't a good enough formula to where, I don't know, to where it felt justified for me to keep using it. And if I was going to declutter one, I wanted to declutter both. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like terrible, but actually, I mean, like now that it's like kind of scratched up, it feels like it like looks better. Oh, I'm so tempted. I shouldn't tempt myself. The highlighter formula is probably the worst of these three, because like this blush topper shade, like it could still work as a blush topper. The blush is actually not bad, like a little on the chalky side, but again, not bad. The highlighter, the Too Faced highlighter formula just isn't it. If you don't know, and we'll get there again in a second, but it just sort of blends into nothing. I mean, there's a little something there, but it's more like the sparkles that are left over as opposed to like giving one nice sheeny highlighter. Again, I used this for just creating eyeshadows or creating other colors. This is the eyeshadow palette side, which I thought it was a cute color story, but I literally never reached for it like at all ever. And the formula wasn't amazing, so I felt kind of meh. I think the shade I liked the most was this Melon Dollar Baby, but then it, like in the pan, but then it blends out into like almost nothing. Like you see the black base and the sparkles on top, and it's just extremely disappointing. I think this Watermelon Out is like almost the same as, okay, it's kind of, no, it's not the same. Actually, that shade still looks really buttery, and I don't tempt myself. I shouldn't swatch things. Basically, it just didn't feel worth it to keep it, like just for the packaging, which is essentially what I was doing at that point. Like I was just like, ooh, packaging, pretty. But then I was literally never reaching for it, so like, what's the point? So I used it to create some stuff, and now I will be getting rid of it. Next, I went through full 3-ounce version of the Aveeno Protect and Hydrate sunscreen, which is broad spectrum SPF, which I loved this. It did take a second to blend into my skin, but then it was perfect. And I just I used this daily, and I had it on like subscription, because like I could like literally only get it at Amazon. And then like I just recently got the notification that like it got I think they got rid of it, like it's not being sold anymore. It's so sad. So I am on the hunt for a new daily sunscreen that I can like use consistently every day, because I do have one that I use that's more expensive, that's an SPF 100 that I use for my face that I love, but again, more expensive, so I try not to use it every single day. But as far as the drugstore high SPF, this was my go-to. So I still have another full one. I'm almost done with the one I'm on, but I will be experimenting. Okay, sorry that I completely switched everything. Both of my batteries were dead. Yay! I thought I had, like, my battery was fully charged, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, you're not. So sorry if there's like worse lighting and stuff, but I also just want to finish filming this. Okay, anyway, so I went through a whole Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Balm. I absolutely love this. It's one of my staples. I'm going through another one right now. I do have a couple drugstore ones that I'm testing since melt away balms are more common now, but I know that this is like my tried and true if I need to get rid of like a full face of makeup. Like if I'm getting rid of like this level of makeup, I'm going to be using this. Also, cause it gets it away super fast, and like my face feels clean and refreshed. I just love it. Next, I mean, I just threw this in here. I don't know if you care about deodorant, but I went through a full clinical secret clinical strength Sport Fresh. And interestingly about the clinical strength, you're supposed to put it on at night before you go to bed. So that's what I do every single night. I put my deodorant on. I've literally been using this since I was like 13, like the exact same one. I found what works for me and I'm not straying from it because I remember the horror of being the teen who stank. So I just stick with this. Much easier. Right, next I also used the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. This is just a little trial size that I got in Empties. Worked well. Didn't seem like there was anything specifically special about it, but it made my face feel nice, so wouldn't repurchase the full size, but it was nice to have it while I did. This was the little mini Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream that I got along with the cleanser. I would not repurchase the full size of this, but I did really enjoy the actual moisturizing feeling of it. It did make my face feel nice, but I just don't feel like dropping the money on the full moisturizer, and from the dermatologists I've talked to, there are better drugstore options available. I do, however, love this little pot though. I definitely want to keep it to put something else little in because it's just like super cute and purple. Like, I love it. So I went through, I believe this was like one of the first things I got in BoxyCharm. So it's the Le Serum Soin Hydratant, whatever. It's from the brand BioRace. It's just a basically hydrating serum. So I used this on my face. It had an airless pump. It seemed to work well. Didn't have any complaints about it. There wasn't anything super special about it either. Probably wouldn't repurchase it because as I'm sure it's very pricey coming from BoxyCharm. It was nice to have it. I used up a full ABH Brow Wiz in soft brown. This one lasted me ages. I used up the Fan Chromatic Nails Strong Bond Base Coat. It worked pretty well. I have issues with getting my nail polish to not chip after like more than a day and a half. So basically no base coat I've tried ever has helped it last a super long time. So this performed like a standard base coat for me, which means it will probably work amazingly for like 90% of people. But if you are like me and nail polish just does not seem to stay on your nails, this probably won't help it. Like nothing helps. So if you're like me, be warned. But it seemed like in all other aspects, it was a good base coat. But I went through a full one. It did seem like it gummed up kind of fast, but I still managed to go through pretty much all of it. Next, I used up this was also Fan Chromatic Nails, and it had a label, but I like peeled it off because like I had it like with me in class, like I had it next to me in class, and I would just like mess with the label because I fidget a lot. So I tore it off. I'm trying to remember what the name of the scent was, but it's like, I want to say it wasn't the Here There Be Dragons. It was like Goblin Market Day. I'll look it up and I'll put it there. But I really liked the scent of this hand sanitizer. It's just like a little mini, but I liked having it, like, you know, after I did something with the dog, like came back from a walk, I just put my hand sanitizer on. So before I sat back down for class. Right, next I used up a full The Ordinary Niacinamide 10% and zinc 1%. I really liked it. I haven't repurchased it yet, but I probably will in the future, but I felt like it worked well with my skin. and if you're at all involved in the skincare YouTube area, then you've probably heard niacinamide be hyped up like literally all the time, and this product is often mentioned because it is super cheap and formulated pretty well. Alright, next I used up a trial side of the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. It felt like kind of like a gel moisturizer. It didn't feel like it necessarily prepped my skin especially well for makeup, but it felt like a gel moisturizer. So I'm not sure if I'd purchase the full size, because usually if I'm looking at a primer, I'm looking at something that's going to help my makeup last longer. I'm not necessarily looking for an extra moisturizer because I have my sunscreen and moisturizer for that in my routine already. So it didn't really work for me specifically, but if you're looking for a hydrating primer, this one works okay. Alright, next I used up the Fan Chromatic Nails Quick Dry Top Coat. I did like this a decent amount. Again, I don't know, maybe it's just something about the air up here, but I feel like my top coats gum up a lot faster than they used to, but maybe not, I don't know. But I mean, obviously I still managed to use all of it, because even when my top coats are gummy, I'm like, no, I'm using you, and I just struggle through it. So like there's a tiny itty bitty bit left, but I managed to use most of it. It was a good top coat. It dried fast, just like it said it would, so I'm not mad at it, and supported a cool little indie brand. Next candle. This is the Moon Geek Candle Company. They are on Etsy. This is the Sagittarius candle. So I'm Sagittarius, hi. So it is for the blunt, idealistic, optimistic person. Basically nothing that Sagittarius ever is, except optimistic and travel lover ever described to me, but whatever. So I didn't like the scent of this is good, but it wasn't my absolute favorite, because again I tend to lean more into those sweet and spicy fall scents. And this one, hold on, what? Oh, my phone's, I guess now I will have to insert the actual scent things since my phone is being used for other purposes. But I like the scent of it. I probably wouldn't repurchase it again, but I liked having it while I did. Last candle. This is just a standard pumpkin spice candle. I got it. It's the Walmart brand, so it's Mainstays, made in the USA. It's exactly what it says it is. It's a pumpkin spice candle, smells delicious. I would say like the scent throw is somewhere in between, like it's not nearly as good as the Forever Mood candles, but it's like better than, what was the other one? It was better than that candier one that we talked about. Because it is a 3-wick massive candle, it lasts a lot longer. It doesn't throw as far while you're actually using it, but lasts far longer. I used up a mini size of the It Cosmetics Lash Blowout. I remember liking this quite a bit, but of course it's a mini, so use it up pretty quick. I don't like buying higher end mascaras. I feel like I have plenty of drugstore ones that do the trick, so I wouldn't repurchase the full size of this just because I don't buy mid or high end mascaras. I just don't. It's not worth it. And you have to repurchase it in like 3 months anyway, and I don't have the kind of cash to drop for that. So yeah, but worked well though. So if you do buy higher end mascaras, I would recommend this one if you like something that gives you a lot of volume. I also went through a trial size of the Benefit Gimme Brow, and this was in the shade 3, which is, I believe, medium brown. Worked pretty well, but for my brows specifically, I like having a heavier brow gel, like more pigmented, so I really like my ABH Dip Brow Gel for that. This one's just a little too light. It makes me feel like I really have to go heavier on the brow pencil side, because usually what I do is I do brow pencil lightly to get my shape, and then I use my more pigmented brow gel to really make it look like I have brow hairs. And this one is just not quite pigmented enough for my specific taste, but I know a lot of people really, really love it, so. Alright, next in the declutter pile, so this is the Pacifica Wild Hemp infused eyeshadows. There was nothing special about it. I didn't like it. It doesn't smell anymore because it's old, but when I did first get it, it had this really nasty smell to it that I hated. So I literally never used it. But as you can see, this was part of my experiment for creating a bunch of new eyeshadow colors. I used it and now I'm decluttering it. Next in the declutter pile, this is the Hank & Henry matte satin matte lipstick in Lust, which I love the packaging of this because you click this button at the top and then the lipstick pops out. which is just so much fun. And then, you know, it's a standard bullet. But what I hate about this, just in addition to the fact that Hank and Henry is a terrible, not a terrible brand, but like one of the founders is not a good person, and I don't want to support them. So I got this in a boxy charm. One thing I should mention, the packaging, like the sparkles get all over you. But what I hate is that like there's sparkles on, it's hard to see because my phone's not the best, but there's sparkles on the bullet, but I was so disappointed because when you actually start to use it, it's just like a overspray. So there's no sparkles on the inside of the lipstick, which just makes it feel like it's lying to you. So here, I will give you a swatch of it really quick. It's just like kind of your standard nude. And then if you swatch it with the sparkles, actually the sparkles like barely show up, but it just made me sad that it was an overspray and I felt lied to. And I don't want to support Hank and Henry, so I'm just decluttering it. Simple as that. Next on the Hank and Henry, I got their Las Hermanas eyeshadow palette in a boxy charm, which had a fun color story, but I didn't necessarily like the formula of the eyeshadow all that much. It was okay. It also had a pressed glitter, which I tend not to use, and I just didn't want to use it really. But again, I did make use of it before decluttering it in the Create My Own Eyeshadow colors. Okay, I'm trying to finish before my phone dies. Okay, next decluttering the Color Icon Wet n Wild eyeshadows. This is the water one, and I was just like, oh, I want to have all the elements like I'm in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I like never use this because I don't like the style. Like I don't like having all of the shadows together because it's tiny, so it's too easy to mix it all together, and they're all shimmers, and I like never use them. Like they're okay shimmers, but they're nothing special, and I just like, I literally never reached for it. So along the same lines, because I never got the fire one, but I got the air and the earth one, and I, again, never used them. Like, I used them some at the very beginning because I was like bound and determined. I'm like, I'm gonna make this worth it. Even though they were like, I got them on sale, so they were like, what, like $2. But yeah, just, they weren't worth it for me. I don't like this format. I shouldn't have bought them, but I was like duped in by the elemental theme. So yeah, there's that. Next I used up the Verify 2020 Phytoglycogen and Peptides eye cream. Didn't feel like anything special. I mean, eye cream is basically just a moisturizer, so it was a moisturizer that I used on my eyes. So, you know, and it was a sample size, so it's not like there was a lot of time for it to make a huge change in anything. So yep, there's that. Getting towards the end here, I used the Cella Hello Beautiful, or am decluttering the Cella Hello Beautiful quad. This one's just tiny. Like this was actually good quality, but like I just never reached for it. But as you can see, I did actually use a lot of it for creating my own eyeshadows. I should probably just show you guys that, but you'll see it in my my palette a day. It should be in the part 2 one. You'll see the palettes I created. But yeah, so I'm just decluttering that now. That's used. This is another Pacifica one. It's the Beach Crystals palette. Again, I just didn't really like the formula of this. They're very sheer. So I just used these in creating some eyeshadows, and now I'm decluttering. Next on the list, this one's actually bad quality, which I feel like this is kind of like makeup community famous for being bad quality now. And it is the Too Faced Fancy Pink Diamond Highlighter, and it has adorable packaging. Like, I mean, Too Faced is just good at that. It's good at adorable packaging that draws you in. And it looks like a diamond. It's super cute, but the formula is not good. I mean, again, you're not seeing the best because my camera is just not doing so hot right now. But I mean, can you even see it? Can't even see it on my arm. Dang it. Yeah, you can kind of see it here, but literally blends into nothing. Like, you would have to absolutely pile this onto your face in order for it to like do anything. And keeping it for cute packaging is not enough. Like, I had it displayed on my vanity for a while, but then I was displaying other stuff and it just wasn't worth it anymore. So at this point, I'm decluttering it. I'm trying to go fast because I have 4% battery left. Eek. The Wet n Wild Color Icon Cream Blush. It is a black blush and it's color changing. So basically when you like rub it on, it's kind of blotchy, it doesn't really blend very well, and then it's supposed to turn like with the color, like it's one of the pH changing ones, and so for me it just doesn't really work well. It kind of ends up looking like I have a bruise, which isn't ideal when you're trying to put blush on your cheeks. Instead it just looks like you got into a bar fight. Just getting rid of it, not worth it, but fortunately I didn't spend that much on it. Next is the Feel Enzymatic Exfoliating Cleanser. It wasn't a bad cleanser. It was just okay. Left my face cleansed, but the actual exfoliation part seemed a little harsh for my taste. And if I'm going to go for an exfoliating cleanser, I far prefer the Tatcha Rice Wash because the grains are much finer, so it's a more gentle exfoliation. Because physical exfoliation as opposed to chemical exfoliation can be a lot harsher on your skin and leave you with micro tears, so I try to be like really careful with the physical exfoliation I'm doing. Alright, just a few things left. Next we have the Honey Drop Lightweight Moisturizer. I actually really did like this. I like a lot of, this is from Pharmacy, I like a lot of Pharmacy's things. I'm not sure I would repurchase the full size just because it'd be a little on the expensive side. I got this in like a holiday set, which is why it's like the mini side. I do love this container, so I'm definitely going to reuse it because I love the little fake wood handle and everything. So if I just take the like, I think I could probably get the label off pretty easy. Hold on. Wahahaha. Perfect. I can use it for whatever I want now. Last three things. I have 1% battery left. I can do this. The L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. This is my go-to drugstore mascara. I love the way it makes my lashes look. It makes them longer. I feel like it gives it a really good amount of volume, and then when I combine it with a lash curler, I just get my perfect everyday lash. Alright, and then two little sample perfumes. So this one was the La Vie Belle from Lancome, and I do not remember what this smells like. So I mean, it's an okay scent. It smells a little bit like I'm a middle-aged corporate worker, but it's not terrible. Like, it's okay. A little bit on the flowery side for me. Again, that's not my favorite necessarily, but it's fine. I had like that one spray left, so yeah. And then I used up all of the YSL Black Opium, and I actually did like they have the Sephora like holiday gift set where you're able to like test out a bunch of samples and then like get a full size of your favorite one. I ended up getting the full size of the Black Opium because I really like that one. It's sort of like what I like in a candle, but on me, because it's got that kind of spicy and sweet scent to it, but then it works really well with my body chemistry. It lasts a long time. It just makes me feel pretty. I like it. And that was literally 6 months worth of declutters and empties. I have a few things that I'm almost done with that you'll be seeing, I guess, at the end of the year. But yeah, so that was that. I made it. My phone didn't die. Good night. Oh, I should actually do my outro. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay magic, keep reading, and I love you all so much. Goodbye!